Hey guys, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and this is going to be the least controversial video of 2019. I mean, literally, I don't think anybody's going to have any opinions or arguments on this, and hear me out here. We are talking about fake news. Now, here's the interesting thing. Microsoft has just integrated basically a technology from an organization called NewsGuard into the Microsoft Edge browser. And so if you're using the Microsoft Edge browser and you go to a website that is a news site, it's going to give you a score. Now, it can be trustworthy or trustworthy with caveats or untrustworthy. And here's where it gets interesting, and here's where nobody will debate. I have basically what websites they consider trustworthy, trustworthy with caveats, and untrustworthy. Now, before I dive into that list, which I'm sure you're all excited to hear, here are the categories that basically every single one of these websites and news organizations is being rated on. The first one is credibility. Now, in order to meet credibility and be trustworthy, you have to check every box in this. Does not repeatedly publish false news, makes sense. Gathers and presents information responsibly, okay. Regularly corrects and clarifies errors, that's a good thing, we all should do that. Handles the difference between news and opinion responsibly, that can be subjective, but makes sense to me. And avoid deceptive headlines. So, click here for blah, 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 blah. If you meet those, you are considered credible. Now, if you want to be completely trustworthy, you also have to have transparency. And so the other categories that you must meet are: the website discloses ownership and financing, clearly labels advertising, reveals who is in charge, including possible conflicts of interest, and the site provides the name of content creators along with either contact information or their biography. So if you check every box, you are considered trustworthy. If you check or you're not able to check 1 through 3, you're trustworthy but with caveats. And if you're untrustworthy, you have 4 or more checked, and I will give you examples of this. So the list of trustworthy news sites per Microsoft when you go to them are the New York Times, Washington Post, The Guardian, Wall Street Journal, the National Review, The Economist, the Times of Israel, Business Insider, Huffington Post, BuzzFeed News, which I'm sure some of you might have comments on just given the whole past thing in the week, MSNBC, the Associated Press, Daily Beast, Vice News, and the LA Times. Those are examples of trustworthy. Now, trustworthy with caveats, meaning they didn't check them all, we're going to start with Fox News. And the reason why Fox News did not make full trustworthy, according to Microsoft and NewsGuard, is they failed to regularly correct and clarify errors. Their website did not disclose ownership and financing, and they do not reveal who is in charge, including possible conflicts of interest. Therefore, Fox News, for every other category, is trustworthy, and those are your caveats. Some of the other trustworthy but with caveats: the New York Post, the Daily News, the Federalist, Bloomberg, TMZ, Splinter, which I really haven't heard of, Forbes, who I publish with, Times, and the BBC. So sorry, British, you're not off the hook. Now, not trustworthy, 4 or more, and I will give you an example of this. The first one is Breitbart. This is a conservative news site. They fail to gather and present information responsibly, according to Microsoft and NewsGuard. That handles the differences between news and opinion reasonably. They don't do that. Website discloses ownership and financing. They don't do that. And they don't reveal who is in charge, including possible conflicts of interest. That is why they failed. They actually checked 4 negatives, and the rest is considered trustworthy in some way. Others include Daily Kos, that's pretty much the opposite of Breitbart, Russia Today, or RT, and Al Jazeera. So take that for what it's worth, but those are your trustworthy with caveat, and untrustworthy news sources. Do you agree with that? Is anybody going to disagree with that? You tell me. Like I said, probably the least controversial video I've ever made. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and I guess stop reading fake news. Take care.